So another big update, another load of fixes, another bunch of changes, and another pile of bugs. Chapter 4's Defying the Odds patch has been out for a bit of time now, and it's brought along a few cool things like better medic crates that can be plopped on top of vehicles to create the Heal-mobile, to a few other less cool things like glitches that seem to be turning people into partially invisible ghosts, a bit like the ones from the last Pirates of the Caribbean film. But one of the most notable changes that graced Battlefield 5 servers in the last update is the nerfing of a few of the game's arguably most annoying gadgets. From the rifle grenade launcher, aka the noob tube, to the Piat, and of course, the headliner of the video, the AP mine. Now, depending on what kind of player you are, this was either music to your ears or very bad news. Especially regarding the AP mine tweaks, because that thing got hit the hardest by DICE's nerf hammer. Its activation delay's been increased, giving people more time to escape the blast radius. The explosion now doesn't hit you if you go prone. You can only plant 2 of them at max. They can't be put next to each other anymore to essentially boost the damage. Mines are going to disappear when the guy who puts it down dies. And they can even be avoided by crouching and crawling past them. So yeah, they've been pretty much completely reworked, to the point where they're nowhere near as effective or exploitable as they used to be. Before the patch, you could expect to see AP mines dotted all over stairways, hidden in bushes, stuck down in really random places, and it was a lot more common to walk around a corner and get your face melted off by an unexpected explosion. The AP mine users could net a few cheap kills and basically protect themselves more comfortably if they're sat around in a building, and you'd have to manually check every supply station first, just to make sure it wasn't booby-trapped. As you could probably guess, or as you'll probably know if you follow me on Twitter, I'm not really a fan of placeable explosives. They just don't fit into my playstyle, and I just can't be arsed looking for them all the time, when I'm trying to find enemies and pull off some sneaky flanks. I've got better things to do than look around for tin cans sat in dark corners, especially when Battlefield 5's visibility isn't the best as it is. But I do know that a lot of people are going to be upset with DICE's decision to basically make them crap. It's a great thing for me and all the other people out there that don't use them, but now you could argue that the AP mine is almost useless, because they're a hell of a lot easier to avoid, and you're far less likely to get killed by them as you go about your business. Probably because less people are gonna keep using them. It's pretty hard to balance placeable unmanned explosives in competitive games, because at the end of the day they need to have a purpose if they're gonna be there, but at the same time they don't take any sort of skill to use, so you could argue that the user shouldn't be rewarded quite so easily. Make them too deadly and the game's just going to turn into a minefield, because everyone's going to be using them to supplement their KD ratio. Make them too weak, and they're just going to be a wasted gadget that's just going to get left on the shelf. So how the hell do you balance them to make them feel more useful, but less newbie? Well, my answer to that lies within the past iteration of Battlefield's franchise, Battlefield 1. Back when those plantable explosives took the form of the tripwire bomb, the exploding tampon of doom. Players would run through a pretty thick piece of string that would cause it to either blow up, set the gaff on fire, or fart out some nasty gas that filled the air nearby. In a way, they functioned in a very similar way to Battlefield 5's AP mines, only they were probably a tad easier to spot, due to that chunky wire being strung out from the bomb's head. But there's something pretty special about the way they could be used, as a tool to inform the user of a nearby enemy's whereabouts, rather than being just some dumb gadget designed to wind people up. Well, up until DICE decided to make them one-hit kill players running through them. Not exactly a smart change if I'm gonna be honest. The thing I'm talking about here is the Scout class's perimeter alarm specialization, and if you can't remember what that was, it basically highlighted enemies caught within the blast radius of your tripwire bomb by marking them on your minimap, turning the tripwire bomb into a much more tactical gadget, rather than something that just went boom and dealt a load of damage. Moving back into the Battlefield 5 scene, maybe this idea of relaying information could be a much better way to balance the AP mine, so that it's less of a weapon and more of a gadget, adding more skill and tactics to the equation, all while still dealing a nice but not lethal amount of damage. Although I hate AP mines with a passion, I do agree that they've been nerfed to the point where they're not very useful anymore. But maybe if a radar ping was added to the gadget, this would give players more reason to equip them. Think about it, if a recon player puts one down at the entrance of a building that they're sniping from, and some dude with a Sturmgewehr comes running in, then the Sturmgewehr guy's probably going to have the advantage in the game's current state. But if he popped up on the recon player's minimap after getting caught in that explosion, then this wouldn't kill him outright, but it'll allow the sniper to know of his presence, and give them a better chance to run down the stairs and put that sidearm to good use, to finish Mr. Sturmgewehr off. Giving both players a chance to win that fight depending on their skill. rather than letting the AP mine do all the bloody work. The fact that the AP mines can be found on pretty much all the classes, apart from in the Assault's inventory, is a bit of a weird thing as it is. I mean, why would a medic need an AP mine? But before the patch, they were definitely in need of a good nerfing, so something had to be done. The way they function in the game after the update does make them feel better balanced and easy to counter, though I do think that adding some sort of ping system would encourage more players to keep using them for tactical purposes, as a tool to assist in the way that they're probably designed to be used from a gameplay perspective, protecting recons and defenders from enemies trying to sneak up on them. So anyway, what do you think about the AP mine changes? Do you think that DICE have nerfed them into oblivion and now need to do something to make them feel more effective again? Or are you quite happy with AP mines being less of a thing? Let me know down in the comments. But that's just about it for this one, so yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll be seeing you in that next episode.